In the video today, I want to talk about something that is making a lot of economists and investors nervous out there. The bond market has just flashed again one of the most reliable recession warning signals that we have. It is the inverted yield curve, and if history is any guide, we could be looking at a downturn in the next year or so. Now, I want to be careful. I don't want to sound like an alarmist here, but this is the stuff that as investors we should be paying attention to. What does it actually mean? Should we be worried? I want to break that down right now. So normally when you lend money for a longer period of time, let's say 10 years in this case, you expect to earn more interest than if you're just lending it out for a few months. And that makes sense, right? More time means you're taking on more risk, so you should be rewarded with a higher return. But right now, the opposite is happening. The 10-year Treasury bond yield just dropped below the 3-month Treasury yield. And you can see that here on this chart. Now, in the finance world, this is a big red flag. Why? Because it usually means that investors are worried about the economy slowing down. And the key part is this: when this has happened in the past, a recession has followed within 12 to 18 months. This isn't a perfect predictor, nothing is, but it has a pretty good, strong track record. Now, if you look back at other times that this has happened and you reference the time frames, you can see what I mean. For those of you who are old enough to remember, you can reminisce about the late 80s, the early 2000s, and of course, 2007. This signal is so important that even the Fed tracks it carefully. And in fact, in January, the Fed put the odds of a recession in the next year at just 23%. But now that we've seen that yield curve inverting, I'm guessing that number is likely to go up in the next report. A reason that this is such a strong indicator is that investors expect the Fed to cut interest rates again. Typically, that is something they do when. They do that when the economy is slowing down or expect it to slow down, or when they sense that we might be heading into a recession. Wait, you might ask, didn't this happen before without a recession? Well, that is a valid question. And the last time that we saw the yield curve invert was back in October of 2022. We still haven't had that official recession. But does that mean that we're in the clear? I would argue not necessarily. It could just be that we're seeing a delayed effect. It's possible that strong job growth that we've seen in the US, particularly consumer spending, that has helped the economy avoid a downturn so far. Now, remember that after we see this signal, there is normally a delay, and sometimes it has been a significant one. When that yield curve inverts, it doesn't mean that you have to rush out and sell everything. That's not what I'm saying now. But as I said earlier, it does kind of warrant our attention. So let's look at what is causing this now. There are a few factors at play. First, investors concerned about economic growth. Now, since the 2024 election, bond yields initially spiked. That said that investors were optimistic. But when you look at them now, they have dropped. Investors are getting more worried about inflation, tariffs, and slower growth under President Trump's policies. You can also look at rising debt and deficits. Investors are keeping an eye on the U.S. government's financial situation that could be adding pressure to the bond market. And then we have uncertainty about the Fed's next move. The markets as of now are expecting at least 2 rate cuts from the Fed this year, and that would suggest that Wall Street believes that the economy is in fact cooling. So are we actually headed into a recession? Nobody knows the answer, and not everyone agrees on this. Some economists, like Tom Porcelli, he is the chief U.S. economist at PGIM Fixed Income. He thinks we're going to see slower growth, but not a full-blown recession. He says there are quite a number of little potholes in the roadway that we really need to navigate around. What's happening is all the uncertainty around the tariffs in particular is putting a very high-powered magnifying glass over all those cracks. People are starting to perk up and pay attention to this now. As I mentioned, I think that's the stage that we're at right now. We should be paying close attention to this. Now, there are others. Chris Rupke from Forward Bonds, he says the bond market is smelling a recession in the air, but he notes that we're not seeing major job losses just yet, which are typically a sign of a downturn. Now, he says the yield curve inversion is a pure play on the economy being not as strong as people thought it was going to be at the beginning of the Trump administration. Whether or not we're forecasting a full-blown recession, I don't know. You need job losses for a recession, so we're missing one key point of that data. Well, you can cue here Elon Musk and his team of these chainsaw-yielding slashers. I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of negative job numbers coming out in the next couple of months. So the bottom line here, should you be worried about this? Well, right now, to me at least, the economy is sending some very mixed signals. You look at the bond market, it's warning of trouble, but then you look at consumer spending, you look at job growth, and those are still holding up. If that changes, if unemployment starts rising, or if the consumer confidence takes a bigger hit, then recession risks will go up even more. I've got more to say about that in the next story. But for now, what do you think? Are we headed for a slowdown, or is this just another false alarm? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, you may have heard that trade tensions are heating up. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic there. With the tariff threats that we're seeing right now from the new Trump administration, market uncertainty has spiked, and that has left a lot of investors wondering how they should be responding. You cannot predict the next policy move, but you can take control over your portfolio with a defensive income-generating strategy from Harvest ETFs. Now, there are 3 funds in particular that come to my mind. First, the Harvest Healthcare Leaders Income ETF. The ticker is HHL. And this fund provides stability through a diversified mix of leading healthcare companies. We think of medical devices right through to diagnostics. Healthcare is a defensive sector that's built to weather uncertainty. And HHL has never missed or cut a monthly distribution. Now, I also look at the Harvest Equal Weight Global Utilities ETF. HUTL is the ticker. And this fund delivers essential infrastructure exposure with global diversification. This reduces the risks tied to interest rates and market shocks, while at the same time, it enhances income with covered calls. Now, if you are looking for higher monthly income, long-term growth, the Harvest Diversified Monthly Income ETF, HDIF, this fund combines a portfolio of Harvest ETFs with modest leverage, is 25% in this case, to boost potential income. So trade uncertainty doesn't have to mean investment uncertainty. You can learn more about these ways to ease your trade more attention by visiting harvestetfs.com. I will put a link in the description of this video. Now, I want to move on to consumer confidence, which just took a bit of a hit in February. The consumer confidence index fell 7 points to 98.3. This is now its lowest level in a few years. The biggest red flag to me here, the expectations index. And this measures how people feel about the future. That dropped below 80. And that is a level that historically, once again, signals a possible recession. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here. I want to look at another chart. This is the perceived likelihood of a U.S. recession over the next 12 months. That, as you can see, is moving up. Let's look at what's driving this decline. First off, consumers' assessment of their current business conditions. 19.6% of consumers said that business conditions were good. That's up from 18.5% in January. But at the same time, 15.7% said business conditions were bad. That's up from 15.2%. Now, if we look at expectations 6 months down the road, consumers' outlook for business conditions turned negative in February. 20.2% of consumers expected business conditions to improve. That's down from 20.8% in January. But 26.7% expected business conditions to worsen. That's up from 19.6%. So that is a pretty big jump there. Also, we look at consumers' views of the labor markets. They were less positive in February. 33.4% of consumers said that jobs were plentiful. That's down a little bit from 33.9% in January, but 16.3% of consumers said that jobs were hard to get. That's up from 14.5%. Now, when we look at expectations, I can see that consumers' pessimism about the labor market has worried. 18.4% of consumers expected more jobs to be available, down from 19.1%, and a full 25.9%, almost 26%, anticipated fewer jobs. That's up from 21% just a month earlier. Fewer people said jobs were easy to find, and more people said that they're struggling to get one. That is never a good sign. Now, looking ahead, pessimism is growing. I want to look at one of the big reasons for this uncertainty, and that is inflation. The expected inflation, that jumped from 5.2% to 6% in just 1 month. I also want to look at stock market optimism, which also took a hit. Fewer consumers expect prices to rise. Only 46.8% of consumers expected stock prices to increase over the year, the smallest share since April 2024, and down from 54.2% in January. If you're looking for more evidence, another thing we can look at is spending habits. Home buying interest is creeping back up thanks to slightly lower mortgage rates, but fewer people are planning to buy cars or big-ticket electronics. More money is expected to go into personal care, healthcare, live entertainment, while things like streaming services and travel are taking a back seat. So all of this latest data, it makes me wonder whether this is a temporary dip in confidence or whether this is a warning sign of bigger things to come. We know that we never know for sure, but we do see this rising pessimism and we see inflation creeping up. So there is a lot to consider here. What do you think? Are you feeling more cautious about spending? Or for you, is it just business as usual? Let me know in your comments. Now, have you voted in this week's Pulse poll question? Donald Trump is continuing his attacks on Canada. Does this make you more sad, disappointed that our neighbor isn't showing respect, mad, frustrated, and fed up with the rhetoric? Neither. It's just part of politics. Click on the QR code on your screen to share your thoughts there. That's a wrap for this episode. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.